The polar bear is the largest terrestrial predator on the planet. But to maintain that massive body, they must constantly search for meals in a harsh and ever-changing environment. From drifting sea ice to open coastal lands, every hunting opportunity can determine their survival. And when the hunt begins, hours of patience can end in just a single explosive moment. Welcome to the chilling hunting moments of polar bears caught on camera. Polar bear versus walrus. The polar bear is the largest terrestrial carnivore on the planet. An ultimate super assassin evolved to dominate the frozen kingdom of the Arctic Circle. They are the most purely carnivorous species in the bear family. Their preferred food is ringed seals and bearded seals due to their energy-rich blubber. Possessing a record weight that can reach up to 700 kilograms, the weapon of mass destruction of this apex predator lies in the combination of massive muscle mass and extreme anatomical adaptations to survive in the harshest environment on Earth. But facing a walrus that is even larger in size than itself is perhaps still a risky gamble. Polar bear versus whale. Polar bear fur is actually not white, but transparent, pigment-free hollow tubes. This special structure helps transmit and retain heat from sunlight, directing it straight down to the pitch-black skin underneath for maximum heat absorption. Beneath their skin is a layer of blubber up to 10 centimeters thick, which perfectly insulates the body when swimming in sub-zero icy waters and serves as a vital energy reserve during the food-scarce summer months. Summer in the Arctic is an incredibly harsh time for polar bears. When the sea ice melts, they lose their opportunity to hunt seals and are forced to retreat to the mainland.
The rotting remains. It may not look too appetizing.
At this time, giant whale carcasses washed ashore become classic life-saving buffets. In summer, bears have to expend a massive amount of energy to swim long distances to the shore.
Wait for winter to really arrive. The cub's mother...
A beached carcass of a bowhead whale, gray whale, or fin whale contains tens of tons of blubber and meat.
The problem...
For polar bears, this is a massive source of nutrition that helps them store fat, surviving through the lean summer months before the ice freezes over again in the fall. Polar bear versus ambushes seal. The tactic of ambushing seals on the sea ice is an apex hunting skill that shapes the survival of the polar bear. Seals are extremely vigilant because they are the bear's favorite food. Therefore, polar bears must employ incredibly sophisticated and patient tactics. Seals are mammals they need to surface to breathe every 10 to 15 minutes. The polar bear will approach from downwind so the seal cannot catch its scent, and quickly seize the opportunity. Usually for every 10 to 20 ambushes, the bear will only succeed once. Polar bear versus narwhal. For these solitary and ever-hungry giants, the carcass of a deep-sea creature is not just an ordinary meal, but a pot of gold containing the most highly concentrated energy source on the planet, helping them survive the harsh winter. The carcass of an adult male narwhal, with a weight that can range from 1.5 to 1.8 tons, provides a massive nutritional reserve for the bears. The key point constituting the narwhal's value lies in its subcutaneous blubber layer up to 10 centimeters thick, accounting for nearly 30 to 40% of its total body weight. This blubber layer contains an extremely high energy density, providing a massive amount of calories per gram of meat, making it a perfect biological hydrocarbon source for the polar bear's metabolism. Their digestive system acts as a filtering machine, directly converting the narwhal's blubber into their own thick subcutaneous fat reserve to insulate and accumulate energy for prolonged fasting periods. After stuffing their bodies with hundreds of thousands of calories from the narwhal, the polar bears are ready to face the harsh blizzard days ahead, thanks to the energy bank they just accumulated. Polar bear versus seal. After a hibernation and birthing cycle lasting continuously for many months, the mother bear's body has depleted up to 40% of its weight to sustain life and produce milk to feed her cubs. With a ravenous stomach, the survival instinct urges her to immediately set off in search of a nutritional source. The mother bear leads her cubs to approach an area of thick ice where there are breathing holes of ringed seals. She signals her cubs to remain motionless at a distance to avoid making noise while she gently slithers forward, turning into a silent block of snow right at the edge of the hole. Even though she is extremely hungry from nursing her cubs through the freezing winter, the white bear still yields this food to the tiny little lives. Polar bear versus polar bear. The confrontation between a polar bear and its own kind is one of the most brutal and violent chapters in the natural world of the polar region. During the breeding season from April to June, adult males will track the scent of a female bear. When two giants weighing between 400 to 700 kilograms clash in a life-and-death battle, it is no longer just harmless sparring, but an explosion of dense muscular power. When two males encounter each other, a fierce battle is inevitable to win the right to pass on their lineage. And the winner will carry on the next generation. Polar bear hunting beluga whale. As spring floods into the Arctic, the ice patches begin to crack and melt, opening a fierce new chapter in the race for survival. When the channels are narrowed by drifting ice pods of beluga whales easily become trapped in small, narrow, open pools of water in the middle of the glacial river. Paws as large as paddles help them dive deep and hold their breath excellently. The hunter patiently waits for the opportunity to lunge and launch a surprise attack from under the water surface. When the ice melts, belugas often swim close to shallow waters or river mouths to rub their bodies and shed their old skin. The shallow water causes the beluga to completely lose its agile swimming and diving abilities. Thanks to that weakness, the giant assassin easily gets very close without being detected. With just an incredibly powerful swipe, it has snatched a delicious meal. Polar bear versus walrus. A beach is tightly packed with heavy giants. Will this place become a hearty meal for the solitary hunter? The polar bear does not target a single one. This time, it decides to charge straight into attacking the entire crowd. Its goal is not to bite the prey to death immediately. The predator wants to create extreme panic, hoping that the fleeing crowd will expose the weak calves. However, the walrus has skin up to 10 centimeters thick, rendering the enemy's sharp teeth completely useless. Furthermore, an adult walrus can weigh up to 2 tons. It is very difficult for a polar bear to wrestle down or crush a giant creature that is exactly like a boulder like this. A wise polar bear will quickly give up if it finds it too difficult. The long tusks of the walrus are incredibly dangerous. If stabbed, the bear will be unable to hunt and will slowly die of starvation. In an environment where every meal can determine survival patience and the ability to seize the opportunity become the most important weapons. Amidst the harsh ice and snow, just a brief opportunity can make the difference between life and death. And that is what has created the haunting hunts of the Lord of the Arctic. If you found this video fascinating, please hit like, leave a comment, sharing your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel to continue exploring many more thrilling wildlife moments. Thank you for watching to the end. See you in the next video.